The Cheating Death Podcast is a comedy, random, and truth-seeking podcast containing information, subject matter, language, and coarse material which may not be suitable for all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised. It is not red versus blue. This is me and you. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, given that we are at number 99, we figured it would be appropriate to touch on the 1999 hit movie The Matrix and provide you with the Matrix theory. Red pill, blue pill, does it matter? Does free will exist? Ooh, we will tell you in this episode, along with providing you with an all-new top 5 list of Keanu Reeves' best movies, in our opinion. Do not crucify us. Or do, email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a new joke of the episode, and much, much more. So, dear listener, for the 99th time, grab your coffee, your blanket, and put your feet up on that table and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. 99 episodes of this podcast, and we have been trying to tell you since around episode 25 or 26 when we started doing the Annihilation Announcement that you, dear listener, are in control of your own destiny, despite the fact that there is no such thing as free will. There is no such thing as an act of choice. There are still things that you can do to make life better for those around you. Make things a little bit easier for those in whom you care about. Send someone a text message, check in on them when they're feeling blue. Always make time for people in whom you feel need it the most. Always try your very, very best to make your neighborhood as happy and as benevolent as possible. You see a stranger walking down the street feeling very sad and looking kind of meek, give them a heads up and be like, hey, yo, that's a nice shirt you're wearing, my boy. Or, yo, them some nice shoes. Where'd you get them? There are no hard ways to do this. Everything is rudimentary if you just give it a little bit of effort. So on today's Annihilation Announcement, ladies and gentlemen, we are telling you to be kinder to yourself and those around you. Love who shaped you and helped you become who you are. And remember, we're all fighting for the same thing: security. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your episode 99 Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tage und eine gute Nacht ist eine Reisende und eine Ausländer, deine Allesfasser, deine Cleric of Chaos. For the 99th time, dear listeners, we are going through another journey together. Today, we are touching on the ever so lovely Matrix theory. Now, this theory in particular, dear listener, yes, it does have everything to do with the movie itself, but would you be surprised if you were made aware that the Matrix theory in and of itself goes as far back as the 1950s and 1960s, and some would argue it even goes back to Victorian times under poets like Edgar Allan Poe and individuals in whom had very, very strong artistic and theatrical foundations all the way back to the medieval times. Some would argue that William Shakespeare even had a command of the Matrix theory. For each and every single one of his theatrical performances and written works were outstandingly communicative for the time. But would you be surprised to note, dear listener, that in the year of our Lord 2025, that the very notion of what you believe to be free will is in fact just an illusion. Yes, the identity of the label of free will has been torn up and down, left and right, volleyed back and forth like a tennis ball on a clay court for decades, centuries. For it has been confirmed that when you are analyzing a soul medically, that neurons cannot fire on their own. They do not choose to become a reaction of a chemical function within your brain. No, they just happen. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for us? Well, dear listener, let's find out. The Matrix, a expertly crafted 1999 movie starring Keanu, Reeves, and Kate Beckinsale and Lawrence Fishburne, directed by the Wachowski brothers, now the Wachowski sisters. Note, dear listener, that The Matrix was a one-of-a-kind movie for its time period. 1999 being the age of Aquarius, and all the lovely things that people stated that we had to look forward to ended up making things worse. The subprime mortgage loan crisis and crash of 2008, and the subsequent recessions of the Western Hemisphere since then, the rising inflation, pandemic surge pricing. You would be surprised to understand, dear listener, that these particular events in specific, they do not hold any value as it pertains to the Matrix theory itself specifically. No, because the entire world, the entire universe as we know it, is involved. When you consider the notion of what being red-pilled or blue-pilled is, it is now a terminology and or a slang derivative variation of what one would categorize as an insult from individuals who deem themselves like the Nick Fuentes of regular society. The involuntary celibate of those of you will automatically assume that being red-pilled means being an alpha male, being an Andrew Tate kind of folk, being the kind of man that don't take no for an answer unless I mean no for an answer. But in actuality, being red-pilled means just being open to any and all possibilities, understanding that we are in a labyrinth, a proverbial rat race, a domicile for the insane all the while. For each and every single one of us as we progress through this road of life individually and independently, whether we're born with trust funds, whether we are born under a rock, it does not matter. Each and every single soul on this planet will one day understand for themselves that there is a greater design. Is that design religious? No, that design is universal. It is something that cannot be explained by any of the overall realms of quantum physics, of mechanical physics that we currently have in society. You ever wonder why scientists can tell you how you feel, but not tell you why that particular emotion created itself in that particular area of your brain at that time? Do you ever wonder why a doctor can't tell you how a thought is formed, but can tell you based on your facial expressions how you're feeling because you are radiating those thoughts and those emotions? That is because you are setting them up for that delivery. You are setting them up for that explanation to a point to where even when people will go to psychics or mystics or mediums, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but a good 99.999% of them use your body language and use your verbal cues to create a scenario to which you will wholeheartedly believe because it resonates within you. This, in a nutshell, is what the Matrix theory is, that everything in and around you is an illusion that is crafted based on your universal experience and your unique approach and your unique marker you leave on the planet. Rest assured, dear listener, the Matrix theory is confounded, it is complex. If you were to expound upon the entire situation, you will understand that there is no end to speculation. There is no end to history. There is no end to time. And as you grow, and as you age, and as you serpentine through the different obstacles and the different varieties of calamity that life can throw at you, you have a choice. Either learn and figure it out, or you wait and die. We are now in a time of history to where people are working 80 hours a week and it still isn't enough to pay rent. We are living in a society where somebody who makes over $100,000 a year may still need food bank support. Regardless of how much education they have, they are still in the same rat race as you. People in whom we're gifting golden opportunities as gifted children throughout their educational programs are now adults trying to navigate through a harsh and broken system that does not benefit anyone except for those in whom are reaping in the revenues at the top. Your BlackRock companies, your philanderous and your decrepit organizations that focus specifically and solely on avaricious venture fund acquisition and the creation, establishment, and continuance of new venture capitals. This is what you're facing. This is what you're up against. So now, in order to get through the 8.124 billion people on this planet, and in order for you to become something that you want to be, you have to try many times before you reach that particular zenith, before you reach that peak that you can say, I did it. There is no end to rough riding life when you are in the rat race. There is no end to the idea and to the notion that this entire system was created and programmed specifically so you continue to suffer. That's not a theory. It's been proven. And what you need to do, dear listener, regardless of which side you're on, whether you're on the red pill side, the blue pill side, or the I don't like pills side, is irrelevant. You have the world at your fingertips. You may be listening to this on a computer, or in your car, or on a cellular device, or on a tablet. Regardless of where you are listening to it from, you are listening to it. You are contemplating the very things that I am positing. All we plan on doing here at the podcast is informing, advising, educating to a degree, and providing you with something small in each program that you can laugh at. Because, dear listener, after 99 episodes of the Cheating Death podcast, if it hasn't become abundantly clear that we live in a society that does not favor those in whom are born without millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people in their network at birth, then we'll take the next 100 episodes to show you even more. And understand that you should give yourself a round of applause for fighting through everything that you do. Whether you believe in red versus blue, it's definitely still me and you. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourself and each other. At the top of the program, we promised you our list of the top 5 favorite Keanu Reeves movies. This was a very hard one to put together, so without further ado, here we go. Coming in at number 5, we have Good Fortune. Coming in at number 4, we have Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. Coming in at number 3, we have The Matrix Reloaded. Coming in at number 2, we have John Wick's 1 through 4. And coming in at number 1, we have The Matrix. What are your top 5? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke is brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. There's a lot of great things revolving around the number 99. You know, Wayne Gretzky, got some whiskey, got some scotch even. And heck, it's even one heck of a fun number to say, 99. But a lot of people say they have a lot of problems this, a lot of problems that. Well, you may have 99 problems, but a soul ain't one, dear listener. Whether one believes that the red pill or the blue pill is the more ideal choice is completely irrelevant to the overall premise and the notion of the Matrix theory. The idea that we even have a choice, that we even have a selection that we are actively able to make is in itself an illusion. Free will does not exist. Neurons cannot fire without having something to fire from. Therefore, every choice, every decision, every single thought that comes to your brain is only a manifestation of the thing that came before it. Understand, dear listener, we're not trying to twist or contort your own perceptions. We're only trying to provide you with a new, overall, thorough, detailed, and succinctly blunt insight as to how and why this could very well be the case for millions of people all across the land. If you don't believe in the Matrix theory, completely understandable. Give yourself an opportunity to find your way on this path of life. Thank you for listening today. Take care of yourself and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nach dem Leben CRDVC, Chaos Realm Records und CR Deutschland. We are available on all podcasting platforms. If you'd like to follow the program, you may do so at twitter.com/weallcheatdeath and follow the host at twitter.com/Cleric of Chaos. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so through our monthly supporters club through Spreaker and through Buy Me a Coffee, or you may make a one-time gift. If you'd like to book a music lesson or a meeting to discuss your future artistic or business project, you may do so at linktr.ee/Cleric of Chaos under the Book a Meeting section. If you are looking to find some exhilaratingly new content, follow all of our friends and producers and personnel at the links in the episode's description. And if you'd like to find out more about the Cheating Death Podcast, you may also do so at the links in the episode's description. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, please call 1-800-273-8255 or dial 988 from your mobile phone in the US or Canada. If anyone's experiencing domestic violence, call 1-800-799-7233. And if you're looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. And 99 times I've said this before, and I'll say it again. We all understand, dear listeners, that life is one hell of a road to travel. Not all of us are equipped right from the get-go, so sometimes you gotta pick a little up on the way. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.